yarn, hook, stitch marker, stuffing. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect crochet. But Nova accidentally added one extra ingredient, her creative chaos. And thus, Nova Gnome Creations was born.
Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. I hope you're doing awesome, and I hope you and your loved ones are taking care of the best that you can. Hopefully you had a good week. Hopefully you're staying cool if it is hot where you are, and hopefully you're staying warm if it is cold where you are. It is extremely hot for a good majority of the people that are hanging out here today, so hopefully you're staying cool. Today is Freeform Friday. I'm coming on a little bit later than I would like to. I try to film this the night before and then get it all edited and get it all scheduled for the next morning and everything, but that just didn't happen. So coming on a little bit later than I like to Taru. And if you guys have been hanging out with me for a little bit, you know that this weekend is when my sister and my nephew and my niece and my brother-in-law are going to get here, which is absolutely crazy. I'm going to be seeing them the day after tomorrow. That's just so crazy. It's like, it's always kind of surreal when it's finally time, you know, for something that you're like anticipating, and it's like, it's actually about to happen. It's like, wait, no, this isn't real. Like, it's so surreal. But anyways, on to what we are here for today, which is Freeform Fridays. So if you are new here and you have not been here for any Freeform Fridays, or maybe you just have been like a little absent on the YouTube streets and you're not new here, but you somehow haven't been here for Freeform Fridays, whatever the reason, I do have some other Freeform Friday videos. If you go to my channel, I've been making the thumbnail, the same thumbnail for those. I have like a little Freeform Friday thumbnail, so they're really easy to find. Just go find those thumbnails and then you can watch the other ones if you'd like to catch up, if you'd like to see what we've been doing. And I did go ahead and grab all of the scrumbles that I've made so far for this Freeform Friday segment that I've been doing. So I thought we could do like a quick little marathon showing of what they are and then showing what today's was. So basically the gist of what Freeform Fridays is I come on Friday and I show you guys what scrumble I've been making this week. So every Friday I roll a 12-sided die, and that 12-sided die, like whatever number comes up, correlates with a little chart that I've done up, and the numbers each have a color. And what that is like basically a jumping point of inspiration for that scrumble. It can mean making the whole scrumble in that color, you know, using tons of different types of yarns, different textures of yarns, different stitches. It can mean doing the whole scrumble in that color in just one yarn. It can mean starting with that color and then going with the flow and changing to other colors. It could mean having a variegated yarn with that color in it. Basically, the point of it is not to box me in or box you in if you decide to participate, but to give like a little bit of a jumping point of randomized inspiration that changes every week. What I'm making and what you're making if you decide to participate, which a lot of you guys have jumped on the bandwagon and I have loved it. I've been so excited that you guys are hanging out and participating, joining in, and a lot of you are doing Freeform for the first time, so that's been really fun. Seeing so many people experimenting with something new and creative. But anyway, what we're making are called scrumbles. Now, scrumbles are basically just small little pieces of crochet that you may or may not piece together in the end to put to a bigger project. So let me give you some examples by showing you some of the scrumbles that I have made in the previous weeks that we've done so far of Freeform Friday. So I'm gonna start with this one because it's sitting on top and it's arguably my favorite. And I'm showing you, yes, I'm showing you the front. Okay, I wanted to make sure. So I'm calling this my cat scrumble because it gives me cat vibes. I went with the cat vibes and added a little tail to it when I was making it. And it has a flower in the middle. This was a rainbow themed scrumble. That was my color prompt. So to me, what rainbow means is just go ham with the color. This is the time to break out those weird variegated yarns, those super colorful yarns. But it can mean anything to you, whatever, you know, rainbow inspires for you if you're doing this. So I did some like bobble stitches, spike stitches. I started with a flower in the middle. This is scrubby yarn right here. This is chenille yarn. This is worsted weight. I love to mix textures, mix stitches, mix weights of yarn. Like that is what Freeform is all about to me. Playing with those novelty yarns. If you see, this flower is made with novelty yarns. Here's another scrumble that I've done. I think that's the front. Yeah. Here was a pink scrumble. And again, you can see those textures. Oh wait, no, this is the front. You can see those textures, those different types of stitches, different types of yarn. Here's like a furry kind of like mohair yarn with a halo. Here's like a teddy bear yarn, sparkly pink yarn, different type of sparkly pink yarn, like another type of sparkly pink yarn. I think I had three different sparkly pink yarns in this one. Love sparkle. This was a yellow themed scrumble, and this is the front of this one. Totally weird, totally random, gives me alien vibes. Maybe this is like a little space shuttle, I don't know. Super weird, and I kind of love it. And then here is my white scrumble, which gave me bird vibes. So I went with it and kind of emphasized the bird vibes to me. So it's got like a little beak, it's got like a little hair floof, used lots of furry, fuzzy yarns, fur yarn, long eyelash yarn, chenille, there's white, there's sparkly white. So that is my white scrumble. And then here was my green scrumble. Went with kind of a nautilus shell sort of shape for this one. Love doing the spiral in the middle, and then as I go out, getting into this kind of like mesh sort of vibe. And then I sewed on a felted flower for that one, which I have been playing with felting a little bit, guys. I'll have to show you guys that soon. I've got actually quite a bit of stuff to show you guys. I just haven't filmed yet. But we'll get to that. This is Freeform Friday. Okay, so those are some examples of some freeform crochet that I've done for Freeform Friday. Also in the background, this bag right here that is not hanging in the most beautiful way to display it is freeform crochet. Those are scrumbles put together. And I showed that on, I think, the week before last's video, but if you check out my other videos, if you missed it, you'll be able to see it in its full glory. Anyways, guys, you're maybe sitting there wondering, how do you participate in this? If you would like to participate in Freeform Fridays, you can email me a picture of whatever you make, or you can post it on my community tab. If you're on mobile or on iPad or anything like that, you can actually post your own pictures to my community tab now. It's not on PC yet. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming that that's something that they're going to be working on. The community tab is still there on PC. It's just, it's up until recently only been a place I can post like basically statuses. I can post pictures, I can share links, you know, do all that type of stuff. But you guys were able to comment on those posts, but you weren't able to make your own posts in my community tab until recently. They expanded that, and on mobile, on iPad, on anything with the app version of YouTube, you can actually post in my community tab. You can post your own pictures, your own posts, all that good stuff. So that's super cool. You're able to post them there, you know, send it to me however you want to. If you do email it to me, my email is always in the description box of all of my videos, but it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. Put Freeform Fridays in the subject line and make sure you attach your pictures, and make sure you will let me know what name to credit you as. Now, you can make anything. This is super chill, super lax, guys. It's just something to do for fun, to let your creativity out. And honestly, like, it's a great way to blow off steam and just relax. You don't need a pattern. You don't need like an end game vision of what you're doing. You can just pick out some pretty yarns, grab a crochet hook, and sit down and just do whatever comes out. That's it. It's similar to sculpting kind of, but you're doing it with yarn. You can make a scrumble for this week. If you want to, you can go back and make a scrumble for any of the other weeks. If you want to make a scrumble for every week, you're welcome to do that. You can send them in if you decide to do that, or if you just want to jump in right where we are and make this week's and send that in, that is totally fine too. Like I said, this is a very low stress, like just chill kind of open collab. So anytime you want to jump in and participate, you know, maybe you want to make one this week, but then you don't make one again for a couple of weeks and then you jump back in and make that one. That's totally fine. That is totally fine. Yeah, I think that that's about everything that I needed to kind of fill you guys in on. Oh, and I will be busy next week. Like I said, my family is visiting and that is going to be like my priority, is spending time with them. So I'm actually going to roll 2 colors this week. It's going to be this week's color and next week's color. Somebody had that idea and I was like, that is so smart. Cause I was like, I want you guys to still have a color, you know, so that you're not like, oh, it's Freeform Friday and there's no video and I don't get a new color. And I was like, well, maybe I'll like pre-record, but then I won't be able to put your guys' pictures into my video if I do that. Cause I was just going to like pre-record it now, you know. They're like, why don't you just roll 2 colors? And I'm like, that's smart. So I'm going to roll 2 colors today, and then you guys can like do one this week and do one next week as the scrumble, or you can do them both in one sitting. Let's be honest, you might do that. But you will have the 2 colors. You'll have that option if you want to ration them out and like, you know, do one next week or whatever. And if you're missing me and missing Freeform Fridays, I do have a Freeform playlist, and it actually has a bunch of other videos in it too, not just from this Freeform Friday segment, from last time I did Freeform on my channel, and I will link that in the description box. I feel like I have a hair. I'll link that in the description box, and then if you're missing me next week when I'm not on here, you can go check that out. And I do have like 400 and something videos on my channel. So, and I do have a playlist, by the way, just called Crochet Vlogs. I usually link it at the end of my videos. And you can go to my page and click like playlists, and it's in there. If you ever just want to like marathon watch videos, pop it up, you know, while you're cleaning the house or whatever, I would so appreciate that. I love it when you guys do that. It does help me out when you guys do that also. But it's also a good way to spend time with, you know, past me and get more videos when I'm not like actively here. Okay. Anyway, about it, I will be rolling 2 colors, but first, would you guys like to see the scrumble for this week? So this week we got orange, and I did something different with my scrumble. I made a squared off scrumble. I have never done a squared off scrumble. I always start my scrumbles either with a magic circle or some sort of center. Like last week's was, I started it with a flower in the middle. I've crocheted like, you know, an abstract shape and used that as the middle, but I have never done like a squared off shape. So there are so many shades of orange yarn in this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is at least 8 different yarns in this. And believe it or not, I know they look really similar, but there's actually a variegated type of orange and a solid type of orange. And it's so crazy because they go so well together, but they're actually 2 different yarns. I will pop up a picture of the yarns that I used, and of course, I did what I've been doing, and hubby went in and picked out all the yarns I would be using. You know, my thing for him is always pick out as many as you want, make them as different from each other as you can. This is your color. And that's what he goes with. So he goes in there and he's like, okay, orange. And it was so funny because both him and I were like, orange, that's going to be a hard one. I don't think I have that many orange yarns. I swear he like actually found every orange yarn. When he brought out the like like splay. Oh my gosh, Ruru, you're okay. Wait 2 seconds and I will give you attention. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry about my dog. He came out with the splay of yarns and I was so surprised because it was actually like a very good like little variety. So I've got long eyelash yarn. I've got some shiny yarns like Caron Simply Soft type of yarns. I think maybe that one is Caron Simply Soft. I don't know. They're one of them is Stitch 101 Acetate, which is like a discontinued yarn. This is Parfait Chunky. The solid color is Big Twist. I want to say probably Varsity Orange. And then Big Twist's like ombre kind of orange yarn. This was a scrap of Sugar Wheel Cotton Sparkle that was in an orange part of it. Then there's this fur yarn. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this one, but I really, really like this one. So I'm really happy with it. Like I said, super different. Did different types of stitches all over it. I very much like, I don't know. I just really like it. I don't even know what to say. I just kind of went one way for a little bit, went another way for a little bit, did different stitches, just changed it up. And it's not like a perfect square or anything. I wasn't trying to make it a perfect square at all, but I was going with like a different kind of, I don't know, like a patchwork almost. Oh, and I added a button to it this time. So I do love adding like buttons and things like that to Freeform. There you go. It was getting a lot of shine on it. So I did add a button to it this time. And here's like a little close-up view for you. So that is my orange scrumble. I'm so excited to see what your guys' orange scrumbles look like. I don't typically look at them when I get them in my email throughout the week. I kind of wait until I'm making this video usually to open them. Just for my peace of mind and my sanity for one, because like constantly fielding emails can be a bit much. Sometimes I'll open them, but a lot of times I don't. I'll wait until Friday. And then all at once I get to see everybody's orange scrumble, well, whatever colored scrumbles. And it's super fun. I'm going to put together that montage. I'm going to roll for our next two colors. I will roll and I will also pop it up on the screen to make sure that you guys can like really see what the colors are going to be. So make sure you stay tuned so we can see what the colors are going to be and you can see what everybody sent in for their scrumbles. Thank you guys so much for sending in scrumbles. If you are hanging out here and you have a moment to leave a kind comment, I would so appreciate it if you left a comment about some of the scrumbles that you see in the montage. You know, it just takes 2 seconds to say something nice and you never know what people are going through. Maybe your kind comment about their scrumble is like what spurs them on to keep doing freeform crochet. Maybe they're having a really hard week and nobody has said a single nice thing to them. You're the person that can change that. You're the person that can say, hey, you're doing a good job. So if you've got a second, leave a nice comment and I would very much appreciate that. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye guys.
And for our first color, we have red, number 8 red. Hey, cool, new one. And for our second color, we have number 1 black, another new one.